welcome. Thanks for finding me. Thanks for joining me. This is Brad, full-time driver FTD here on YouTube. Today I'm going to be running you from get to go on how to make your own custom shiny livery for your iRacing car to post on Trading Paint using a free photo editing software called Gimp. You're going to need Gimp program. This is what it looks like. You're going to need your trading paints and you're going to need your iRacing. First thing you're going to need from your iRacing is up here in your licenses in your account. I want you to find your customer ID number. This is going to identify this paint job as your car. So please find this number and write it down. This one is mine. Go find yours. Write it down. We need that right away. I'm going to be painting a McLaren 720S GT3 Evo. This car. So far, haven't done anything. This is basic paint on it. So in trading paints, you're going to find your template. Just scrolling down on the left-hand side to the car you want. In my case, it's the McLaren. Grab that little bad boy right there. Go over here, trading. Paint options. New paint. Down here. Get that painting template. Click on that and download it. Once it's downloaded, it'll give you the options to open it. Open it. And then keep it. Don't convert or nothing. Just keep it just the way it is. It'll bring it up in Gimp looking like this. This is going to be the paint that we are painting on for our 720S GT3 Evo. Very first thing we're going to do though is we're going to make a spec map for this car as well. So I want you to go over into your file. Go into new. It's not showing you my menu, but it's there if you look down on the bottom. Shows you the options that I'm hovering over. Go to file, go to new, click on that, make a whole new one, 2048 by 2048. It'll spit you out one like this. It doesn't matter what color it is. We're going to change it anyway. So now we've got our spec map. We've got our template. I want you to grab yourself a logo. And optional is you grab yourself a clear background PNG format circuit board. It doesn't matter what color it is. This green one works really good for me. I'm going to use it. You go ahead, get all those things, bring them in here. So we've got our template. Very first thing we're going to do to make workflow very, very easy is we're going to export all our files into the folders with the proper names so that everything is recognized and where it needs to be. Excuse me, I'm hiccuping. So go into your file, go into your export. Don't go to save because we're not saving it. We're exporting it into a different program. Export as. It will bring up this. Now from here, you have to go find the right folder that you need to put this file into. The folder will be in your hard drive, in your users, under your username, in app data, not application data, in app data, local iRacing, paint, then the car that you are painting. Today for me, it's the it's the McLaren. My car is a special numbered car, so the car name will be different than what your car's name will be. Your car's name will be car underscore your ID number .tga. Car underscore your ID number, whatever it is, .tga. Mine is going to be different because it's a numbered car, so it's going as numbered. If yours is not a numbered car, do not include the number underscore. Just car underscore your ID number, TGA. Export that on through. Just like that. Then let's go over to our spec map right here. And we're going to do the exact same thing as a spec map. So file, export as, it will bring up this hard drive, users, your username, app data, local, Iracing, paint, the car you are painting. I'm painting the McLaren. And then this one saves as car underscore spec underscore your ID number .tga. Export that through. Just like that. It's been exported. Now that our files are in the right place, the car is going to look like what our template currently looks. So our car will look like that, because our template looks like that. So in order to change our template, we have to use our Gimp program. The main thing that people never explain is what layers are. Think of them as multiple panes of glass stacked on top of each other. Each one has something else painted on it. And when you look down from the top to the bottom, you can see that picture start to appear. So by clicking these little eyes, we can make them visible and invisible. Different layers do different things. We're already making a custom spec map, so we can right click and just delete that layer right off the hop. Turn the wire on, turn the mask on. The wire shows you the outlines of the car, the way the body flows in 3D, but just in a 2D representation. The mask just kind of cleans things up so that you're not so confusing to the eye. Sponsor blocks are obviously sponsors, number blocks obviously the numbers. Car mandatory are the things that generally are mandatory on the car. Since we're making custom paint jobs, we can hide that too. That brings us all the way into the paintable area of the whole car. The different series have different decal layers. And if you notice, the layers on top hide the layers underneath. So we're just going to go ahead and hide all those layers. I'm going to hide that one as well because I'm not going to be using it. Brings us down to the pit board. This is what the pit board will look like. By selecting this layer, we can draw on the pit board. The pit box color, by selecting this layer, we can draw on the pit box colors. The car patterns has just what it says, a bunch of different patterns that you can go through, make your car out of that if you like, or not. I'm not going to be using those, so I'm going to right click, I'm going to delete all of those. That brings us all the way down to the base paint. That is the base paint of the car, the base layer of everything. This is the layer of paint that we are going to paint on that is underneath of all the layers above it. This is the color the car is going to be. Here's the color wheel. So this is where you get your colors from. Right up in here. And it brings up this color wheel. Here you can select your colors in any mixture you want, however you want. It's very useful. I'm going to use a pure black, just like that. Now with the base paint selected, I can either choose a tool to use, such as a paintbrush, and pick a different paintbrush and just paint on it. Or I can edit and fill the whole thing, which is what I will usually do. But I use a hot button for that. If you're not on the right layer, you can't draw on it. Nothing will happen. But if you're on the right layer, you can draw on it. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill that whole thing with my base color that I want. I'm going to do the same with the pit board. I'm just going to control and comma as my fast buttons to just fill that whole thing up. The whole car is now black. if I turn off my wire, you can see that the whole car is just a pure black car. Since we've already exported this file to where it needs to be, we don't have to jump through any more of those hoops. We can just export it, file, export to the car, or use a hot button, Control E, to export that car to where it belongs. So with that file exported, we can refresh this, and our car now looks how it looks on our template. So this is the base idea of how you paint your car and get it onto your screen. So let's go back and explore some more about actually painting the car. The tools we're going to use, the move tool that literally just moves things around. Control and Z is undo. A select tool, you can either select squares, right click, you can select circles. Lasso tool, just you can draw selections you want. Oh, it's this one. Select by color, I use that a lot, but I have it on a hot button as Control and O, so we'll use that one too. Cropping, we know what cropping does. In this set of tools, we have flip, rotate, scale, shear, and stretch is in there too technically, but it's a part of scale. Warp transform, I don't use that very much. I'm basically because I don't understand how to, so we'll use that another day. Gradient tool is awesome. You can select gradient, pick your primary colors, or a variation of any pre-made variant that they have. Then you can just click and drag. Hang on a second. See, I was on the wrong layer. Base paint, click and drag, and you can drag your variant all over and fine tune the adjustments. It's pretty cool. Control and Z to undo all those things I just did. The paintbrush tool. With the paintbrush tool, you can select whatever paintbrush you want over here in the corner. Select your color, just like normal, and then you can paint away. Opacity, that's how dark it is. You can do overlaying shades of varying opacities to make things darker and darker. Size obviously is how big your brush is. Spacing, we'll talk about spacing. The smaller your spacing is, the smoother your line is, the less space between spritzes your spray can makes. The bigger your spacing, the more space between spritzes your spray can makes. Hardness is how defined the edges are. So, for example, I'll turn the opacity up, turn the size up. That's full hardness. Turn down the hardness, the edges are less defined. If I use a texture tool and turn the hardness down, the texture is less defined. I'm just Control period to filling this with background so I don't have to erase all these things. Let's see, jitter. You can use jitter if you're trying to make a smooth line less smooth. Crank the jitter down a little bit, make the smooth line a little smoother. Turn the jitter off, nice and smooth. Turn the spacing down, solid line. Hardness all the way up, super solid line. So you can use that with all these different paint brushes. There are all kinds of stuff. You got stamps, all kinds of things. Eraser, well, that's the eraser. It's got the same tool usage as all of your paint brushes, except it erases. So that's kind of cool. Clone tool, I don't really use that very often. Smudge and blur and sharpen, I use that quite a bit. The tools are awesome. You basically draw dots, it connects the lines. You can bend the lines and adjust little nodules to manipulate that curve to take on almost any shape you want. You can then stroke the outline with your paintbrush. You can make a selection from that path. You can fill the path. Different things you can do. Pretty cool. We'll use that today. Text tool obviously is writing for the text. You can change the colors, and over here you can change all the different fonts. There's a bunch of them. We'll put some writing on this car in a little bit. Measuring tool is good if you want to know exactly how big something is. If you're trying to scale it really precisely, it tells you how many pixels between things. And the zoom tool, which we use on our hotkey buttons as positive and negative on our number pad. Zoom in and zoom out. Positive, negative, in, out. Way faster than screwing around with the tool. So now we know what the tools do. We can adjust some of our things. We know that we're supposed to paint on certain layers. We've got our files. We've got them exported. We've got logos and extra things we can throw on there. So let's go ahead and start slapping logos on. I'm going to grab our logo and just click and hold and just drag it over here. Just throw it on. Now clearly that logo is far too big, so I'm going to shift the size of it. I can either right click over here and go to scale, and you can see how my cursor has changed things. Click on there, make it bigger and smaller. Control Z, I'll undo that. I'm going to lock these pixels together right here so that I have a nice smooth size transition. Grab it in the middle. I can slide it over. I'm going to put it right down over here, right over the back quarter panel of this car. Zooming in with my positive negative buttons. I'm going to turn on the wire. I'm going to use that wire as a guide just to get it where I want it, right up in this part of the car here. So now that cut is right about where I want it, I can turn that wire off. I'll grab a guideline just by grabbing over here and pulling. I'll grab a guideline right there so that I can get the next one of these in the exact same spot. Push that scale to make it stick so that she's in the same spot. Now you can see I've got an extra layer over here, which is her, and she's selected. If I unselect her, I select everything. Select her again. I'm going to take her, I'm going to right click and make a duplicate layer, and then I'm going to use one of our tools over here. I'm going to use the rotate tool, which is also Shift and R. So Shift and R or rotate, and I can just grab her and flip her around whichever way I want. I can put in precise measurements of what I want, or I can grab a hold of the slider and flip it around. I want her right upside down, so 180 degrees. Rotate. Grab my move tool, because now I want to move her. Or M on my keyboard for move. Grab a hold of it. Just clip it to that line. Get it kind of as close to the other one as I can get it. Good. So now I want to see what that looks like on the car, so I have to export it. Either File, Export As, or Control E, Export. Back over to Iracing. Let's refresh the paint. There's our logo. Now this car is awfully dull. I would sure like to brighten this paint job up a whole lot. The way we're going to do that is with a spec map. It's not as scary as it sounds. The spec map is a fancy way of saying the clear coat. And it's all about 3 different additives that you put into your spray can. Those 3 additives are right here. This is nothing. Nothing in your spray can. It's just normal. Normal, gloss, normal. If I want to add metallic, I'll just slide this slider over. This is the metallic. I'm adding metallic particles into my spray can. If I want it a little rougher, this is rough particles. I can add a bunch of particles in to make it rougher, or less particles to make it smoother texture-wise, to make the skin rough or smooth. And this is the shininess. It's super shiny right now, but if I want it to be more matte, I can just add matte to it. If I want it all the way glossy, just don't add any matte at all. That's it. Normal, high matte, high roughness, high metallic. For this car, I want it to be very metallic. I want it to have no roughness. And I want it to be extremely shiny. So no matte at all. That's it. That's the color I want. I'm going to fill this whole thing. Just like that. Now, since this is already exported to our spec layer map that we needed to, all we have to do is export it again. File, export to, or Control and E to export on the hot buttons. Now, load this back up. It should be bright and shiny and metallic. Just like that. Pretty easy, really. If we want to change that, we can change this. Just change the color. We'll add different things into it. Want to make it less shiny? Let's make it less shiny. Let's put some matte into it. Just like that. Okay, we'll click there. We'll go over here. Fill the whole dang thing. Export it, Control and E. Reload. There. Nowhere near as shiny. I wanted to make it even duller. Let's make it super duper 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 dull real quick just for the sake of. So let's grab a color, take out all the metallic, make it really rough, fully matte, just like that. Let's fill this, Control and E export, reload. It almost absorbs the light. It's almost like Vanta black, but not quite. Very dark, very cool. Too dark, too cool. I want that shiny metal back. Just like that. Going to fill this in. Control and E for export. Yeah, I want that shiny metal, just like that. By playing with those three additives in your clear coat, metallic, roughness, and matte, adding more of one, more of the other, you can get all kinds of different effects. So there we go. That is the basics of the spec map, what it does. Cool. So we need to change this car a lot more. I did say we were going to add a bunch of writing, so let's do that. I'm picking this OCR A extended because it just seems to work really well with my car. I want it to be white, so I'm picking a white color like that. And then just by clicking and dragging, I can open a window. I'll click inside of here and I'll start writing. Prototype. Now I want to move that, so I'm going to click my move tool. I'm going to put my wire on so I can see where things are. I want this to be right in the flow of the body, so I've got to move it. That's going to be far too big, so I'm going to have to shrink it. So Shift and S to change scale, or up in your tools over here. Shift and S, shift the scale. I'm just going to grab that, shrink it, grab it in the middle. Maybe a little too small, a little bigger. Just like that. Scale to make it stick. I really like that. So I'm going to go ahead, take that prototype layer that we just made. I'm going to make a duplicate layer. Then either with my tools up here or Shift and R for rotate, I'm going to take that, I'm going to flip it a full 180 degrees so it's upside down. Rotate to make it stick. M for move, or the move tool over there. It tried to hide on me. I got to grab it. There it is. Bring it up here. I'm just going to try to get it as close to the other one as I can. Just like that. That looks all right. Turn off my wire. I'm going to Control E for export. Go back over to Iracing. Have a look. Beauty. That's exactly where I wanted it. Maybe a little bit far back. I'll pull it forward just a hair on both sides. Like that. Okay. And I want that prototype to be written all over the place. So I'm going to go ahead and grab another one of these. Put it up here. Move. Turn my wire on. Grab that bad boy. Now I'm not sure if this is the top or the bottom of the spoiler. So I'm just going to stick one on and then go back and have a look. Control and E for export. Reload. It's the bottom. So, and we got lucky with the right rotation. I like it actually kind of just where it is. I have to move it up just a little bit more. So let's just grab onto it, move it up just a little. Oh, too much. Oh, a little right there. That's good. And then I want another one. So duplicate layer. I'm gonna grab it. Right down here. Right there. Export that. Control and E. Go back to Iracing. Reload this. There, we got prototype up there. But in my opinion, that's upside down from the chase cam, so I want to rotate it. Back over here, Shift and R for rotate, or up in your tools over there. Grab this little guy, Shift and R for the rotate. I want to flip it on its head, 180 degrees, just like that. Rotate that fella. M for move, or your move tool in the top corner. Grab a hold of it. Nope, grab a hold of it. Put it in place. It's kind of small, so I'm going to shift the scale. And I want it to almost fill that whole top, just like that. Scale to make it stick. Control E, export. Back over here one more time. Let's have a look. Much better prototype. 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 Got my decal on there. Got my decal over here. All right, let's get rid of that wire. So, wires off. Export that again. Iracing. Refresh. Hey, we're getting somewhere. But it's not enough just for it to say prototype. It's got to look like a prototype. We need one more here real quick, so I'm just going to grab that one here. I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to shift the rotation. I said shift rotation. There we go. I want to rotate it 90 degrees to the clockwise. So just 90 degrees, rotate that. M for move. Grab a hold of this. Bring it over here. Turn my wires back on. Zoom in. Shift S for scale. I'm going to shrink that on down. Grab it by the middle. Move it right there. Ooh, 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 ooh. Still too big. Let's bring it down just a little more again. Center that O just like that. Scale it. Sure. Export that back into trading paints, back into Iracing. Reload. Got it in the front there, got it on the sides. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So this is a custom car number, so I am going to put on the custom numbers right now. All right, let's zoom out here real quick. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Do some writing. Write down. Whoops, cancel that. Do some writing. I'll just do it right here and then I'll move it. Let's see. I don't want that to be this color. I want that to be that color. Just like that. I'm going to move it now. Right here. Oh, there's something in the way. So this needs to go up on top of this mandatory layer. Just like that. Let's export that just in case. Shift E, or sorry, Control E, export it. Let's go have a look. Yeah, that's good. That's where I want it. Let's go make some more for the other side. So, since it's just X's, we can just duplicate that layer. We don't have to flip them or nothing. Just grab them, just drag them. Put them more or less in the same spot, just like that. Sure. Then I'm going to make more of those and grab them, bring them over here, turn the wire back on so I can see what we're doing. Zoom on in with my positive button here. Shift S to make it smaller. Shrink it on down. We'll zoom out some more. Bring it back over here. Zoom back in again. That's good there. And one more set of these. Duplicate layer. Move them. Zoom in so I grab the right one here, right there. Bring it over there. I'm going to shift the rotation of those 90 degrees, just like this. Rotate. M for move. Grab a hold of them. Bring them down here and align them up as good as I can. That's pretty close. Let's zoom in a little more. Just like that. That's pretty well perfect. Zoom back on. Oh, I think that's pretty decent. Let's turn off the wire and export this. Go back over to Iracing. Reload it. All right. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. But that's not quite enough. So this is where our circuit board will come in handy. So I'm going to grab the circuit board. I'm going to drag it over here. I'm going to throw it up on top of there. Grab it, move it down here. That's pretty big circuit board for what I'm looking for. I'm just going to find a good spot right about like that, I suppose. Turn the wire on so I see exactly where I'm at. I want to fill this panel in with some of this green circuitry. So I think that's probably good. But now it's everywhere. So I want to get rid of that. This is where a path tool is going to be awesome. Selecting a path. I'm going to zoom in a little more just to center what we're looking at. I can literally just select dots now. Dot, 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 dot. And it draws a line between all my dots. Now I can draw a dot way over here. Dot. See that line that cut across here? Don't worry about that. Dot. Dot. Let's put another one here. Straight up, real close, not quite. All right. Grab onto this line because our path allows it. We're just going to bend it just like this. Grab onto this nodule and shape that line, this other nodule. Just shape it. Oh, not quite. Grab this one. Shape it just like that. This line isn't quite on spot. Let's move it. Ooh, we got lucky. Just like that. Selection from path. We've made a selection around our path we just drew. Now if we go to select and invert, we selected everything except for the path we just drew. I'll zoom out a bit. I want to erase everything except for the path we just drew. So by making that path and selecting it and then inverting the selection, I selected everything but the path. And we have a perfect little outline right there. So let's turn off the wire and let's export this and go have a look. There, that panel is now made of electronics, but it's pretty dull electronics indeed. As shiny as it's going to get though, it'll shine brighter in the light. Okay, well, we need to put more electronics on this thing, so back over here. Now, I don't want electronics everywhere on the outside. I would just want them to be hinted at. So I'm going to put some in our spec map. In order to see where I'm putting them, I'm just going to grab our mask. I'm going to pull it in there too. I'm also going to grab our wire. I'm going to pull it in there too. Now we can see everything we've seen in the other one. I'm going to move and grab this. Oh, I got to zoom in. Grab that and move it all the way up here. This is my hood scoop. Now I want the hood scoop to look electronic inside. Just like that. But now there's stuff all over the place that I don't want. Make sure I have that buffer selected and grab my eraser. I'm just going to erase everything I don't want. This stuff. I don't want that having electronics on it. Turning off my wire copy, you can see what our spec map is looking like. I'm going to export that. Going back to Iracing and reloading, you can see now how the inside of our scoop has those awesome electronic traces in it that shine in the light. But that's not enough. We need more. So I want more electronic bits. I want them in here. I'm going to move them down here. Let's see. I need to find a nice curvy piece. There's some nice curvy pieces, but they're shaped the wrong way. So I'm just going to shift to flip. I'm going to flip this bad boy, but I don't want to flip it up and down. I need to control which way I'm flipping it. So by pressing control, I can flip it sideways. See the way my cursor moves? Or you can change it over here as well. But control the way you're flipping it. I want to flip it this way. M for move. Grab onto it. The only reason I did that is because I thought I saw some electronics that would fit that perfect shape that I'm looking for right in here. Just there. But now since I've got this covered, I don't want everything else. So let's grab my eraser. I'm just going to erase all of this, everything else. Leave that one. Erase those. Knowing what all the pieces are is a little bit of trial and error. Like all the parts of the car. I'm going to make a duplicate layer of that which we just made. I'm going to grab it. I'm going to bring it up here. I'm going to shift flip it. I want to flip it up and down so I don't need to control which way we're flipping. Just flip it. And then move it. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so I can see. Just plop it in the same spot roughly, just like that. Looks good to me. Gonna hide that wire. That'll look good, but that's not gonna be enough. Gonna put some more in. No, over here. Grab it and move it. I want this back quarter panel to have some electronics on it too. But I'm not sure which. So let's zoom in a little more. I want it down in here. That might look good. I think that'll do. Grab my eraser and erase the stuff I don't want. All this. No, I'm not sure how far back that quarter panel goes. So I'm gonna turn my wires back on. Oh, quite a ways. Look, there's lots. Okay, so take out all this. This doesn't need to be there. Here, here, here. I could make a path for this or a selection, but it's just as easy just to go in and do this by hand because it's not a real fancy spot here. It's not real tight and delicate. So now I'm going to make a duplicate of this, flip it, zoom in here, we'll flip it, and then we'll move it. What? We won't move that. It went up here. Look, this is where it went. I'm sorry. And then we'll just bring it over here, get it into the same spot. There's a little more here that we don't need, so we'll just erase that as well. Bloop, bloop. Zoom out. Mask off. Sorry, wire off. Control E, export that. Let's go back and have a look in Iracing. Turn those on. Look at that. Look, we got that nice, beautiful trace going on here. We got trace hidden here. You can't really see it very good, but it's there. There it is. See? All right, we got electronics there, electronics here, electronics there. It's starting to look like a prototype, but if it was truly a prototype, it would probably be powered by some futuristic generator stolen out of a UFO built underground in some bunker near Roswell, New Mexico. So let's do that. I've still got a selection selected here. I'm going to undo that by select none. And now let's zoom out and have a look. I want to make some highlights on this car to make it really pop. In order to do that, I need to know what I'm painting, and I'm going to need to use paint brushes. I'm going to select a nice, bright, kind of a neon-y glow, something like something like that. No, something like that. Sure. Okay, so now I have that selected. I'm going to use a paintbrush. I'm going to select a different paintbrush. I'm going to pick a smoky texture one. There are multiple ways that I can do what I'm about to do. I can make a new layer and paint on it, and then flip it. I'll make a new layer anyway. So clicking down here at the base image so it's the same size, I'm going to make a new layer. Not a group, sorry. Just a new layer. And I'm going to call this glow. So you can see I've created a new layer named glow. Now I want to paint some glow around this car, but I want it to be symmetrical on the right side and on the left. I can either paint the left side, duplicate the layer, flip it, just slide it into place, or I can use a symmetry. I'm going to use a mirror symmetry, a horizontal symmetry. So whatever I do under the line will happen over the line. I'm going to make sure that this line is dead center on this car. Right there. It's as dead center as it's going to get. So now anything I do on the bottom of the line will also happen to the top. Going back to my paintbrush selection, I'm going to pick a smoke color. I'm going to pick this blue. I'm not sure if I like that blue. Just going to look up what color code a certain color is. I like that bright cyan blue color. So I'm just going to use my Google to Google what color code cyan is. Hang on. Color code cyan. Now knowing the hex code, I can just simply type that in here instead. 00 FFFF. Okay. So now I've got the right color there. That's more of a greenish blue. There, that's better. So, selecting my paintbrush tool, I'm going to turn my opacity down quite a bit. Spacing, I want it to be really tight spacing, and I want softness. No jitter, just like this. Now anything that I paint, I'm going to make the size smaller. Too small. Using my scroll wheel to fine tune it about this size. Now I'm just going to start painting. As you can see, whatever I paint on the bottom, paints on the top. I want that to be bright. Need it to be bright in here. I want this to be bright. Bright, bright, bright. 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 Let's see. Let's move this glow layer up above mandatory because I want some glow in here. Let's see, where else do I want some glow? I want some glow in here. Lots of glow in here. I'm going to turn the opacity down quite a bit here now, because now we're going to move up. Still some more. I'm going to start painting in some brightness. Just like this. Something like that. One more here. One more there. One more here. And now, using my smudge tool, turn the opacity down on that. I'm just going to start smearing here. Just smearing it down. This stuff needs to be smeared up. This needs to be smeared down this way. Just to go with the way that this car is going to look. This needs to just kind of smear a little. Just a little. Okay, we need some more. So I need to turn off of this horizontal symmetry, turn on some vertical symmetry, and move this because I want this hood scoop where we've already got those electronics. This is going to look like super awesome. So I'm going to use the rectangle select just so I don't spill paint all over. I only want to paint this. Paint it. It's going to be fairly bright down here. Super bright down here. Super duper bright. Okay, and then we're going to make the size real big. We're going to smudge it. Make the hardness harder. And we're just going to smudge it. Smudge some more. Oh, yeah. And we're going to smudge this down. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Just like that. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's turn this off. Export that. Let's go have a look. Yeah, now we got some glow going on in our prototype car. Too much down there, though. We got to get rid of all that. Okay, let's go back there and get rid of some. So, back to our horizontal symmetry. Turn the vertical symmetry off. We're going to grab our little eraser. We're still working on our glow level. Change the size of this, and we're going to change back to our regular paintbrush so we can just erase. Glow. Oh, selection is still available. Okay, so select nothing because I'll still select it up here. Delete this. That doesn't need to be glowing. Let's grab our smudge tool again here, though. Smudge it some more. Yeah. Yeah, like that. Oh, oh. Yeah. Well, let me think here now. Let's turn this wire back on. See if we can find that gap that goes in here. I don't know where that would be even. This stuff back here needs some glow too. So let's grab our paintbrush. Let's go with that smoke again. We need to go real small. Zoom in. It's still too big. I'm gonna zoom in. Opacity, crank it. Actually, what I'll do here is I'll apply a little bit of jitter. And I'm gonna just sprinkle all this all in here and all in here and all in here, all in here, here. Zoom out a little more there, right there. Okay, bring that up. Going to change the spacing. We're going to use it as a smudge tool actually. I'm going to use it changing. We're just going to smudge. Yeah. Whoop. That didn't work quite right. Spacing down to 0. Size real small. I'm going to drag that there. And let's zoom back out and have a look. That's a little bit better. Let's export that. Whoops, wait, let's turn the wire off and export that and go back over to the trading paints. No, go over to the Iracing. There. Geez, I really like that. That's looking pretty awesome. I don't know what else I can do to that to make it look cooler. I think it looks pretty cool. So now that we've got the car painted, got custom spec map on it, let's have a look at what our spec map actually looks like right now. So that's our spec map. 2 shades. Oh look, there's something over here that we missed. Where? This right here. Let's grab that eraser. Make it bigger. I need to erase this. Alright, let's see. Where else? Should we put any more electronics on that car? I don't think so. I think that'll be good. I think I'd like to put some more electronics along the spoiler. I shouldn't even have to trim anything. Let's flip this. Sure, let's export it like that and go have a look. Yeah, I like that a little bit better. Now the tail fin has some electronic tracing on it. Alright, so now we've got the car painted, spec map. It's all exported into our files. We can drive just like this now. If we go into test drive, this car will be our car that we're driving. How do we get everybody else to see? We have to go back into trading paints. From here, it's pretty easy. We go to upload. We're going to find that file that we just made. So, you know how to find it. That file that we just finished making. We've saved it. We've exported it a bunch of times. That's the one you find. Add a spec map right here. Find your spec map. This part might give you a bit of a problem because they usually hide the dang spec map. So what happens is we send Iracing a TGA file of our spec map. They transform that into a .mip file and they send it back to us. For me, that file never comes into my hard drive. It always goes into my OneDrive. So in order to find it, all I do is I go to the home, I go to the search, and I .mip, and I search. From here, it gives me all the MIP files. They're always in my OneDrive. They're never in my hard drive. I don't know why it does that. It always does. Find the one with the right spot. This one's in the McLaren GT3 folder. This is the right one. Date modified just now. Upload that one. Who can race with it? You can choose community or just you. If you choose community, you have to upload a screenshot. If it's just you, you don't have to. Choose the vehicle. In this case, it's the McLaren GT3. Mine is a custom number. Yours is probably SimStamp number, unless you put on custom numbers. If you put on regular numbers, the sim will print the numbers on your car. Your car will be named car underscore your ID.tga. If you're putting your own numbers on, your car will be named car underscore num underscore your ID number dot tga. Having custom numbers means you'll need Trading Paints Pro to display those on the racetrack. If you just use SimStamp numbers, Trading Paints normal, absolutely free, you're off to the races. Hit the upload. It takes a second. Processing. It's uploaded. If you're using SimStamp numbers, that's as far as you have to go. You're done. You're racing that car. If you're using a custom number, there's one more step. You have to go into your sim, open up your actual sim, go into a test drive, go in through your graphics setting, and hide car numbers down in the settings. Close it, reload it, your car should show up. So, thanks for spending this time with me, painting this car. I hope all those little tricks help you, and I hope you have an awesome time. Happy painting.